What's up, everybody? It is I,
What's going on?
Sigma. I am once again joined for the BBET GamesCast episode 9 with Blue Bones.
It's your boy.
And Superman Jeff 12.
Hey.
And we are back once again to give you that sweet gaming news and information. First off, as always, we like to start with what we've been playing. Jeff, why don't you start? What games have you been getting into this week?
I've been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Right. When did that come out?
Came out on Friday.
This past Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you liking it?
It's pretty good. I mean, I love how it looks. It's a beautiful game. They added some new layers to it as far as like enhancing your characters a little bit further with like isotopes and stuff like that.
What is that?
So like, if you ever played like Marvel Heroes?
No, that was like the PC one, right?
It was on actually it was started on PC. It was on Xbox and PlayStation 4. It was a free-to-play game.
Okay.
Where you played as different Marvel heroes, something like that. So pretty much you take these isotopes, let's say strength, and you can give the attribute of strength to another character and enhance their strength.
So they're calling it isotopes, but that's just isotopes. The in-game
like in the Marvel
for, like,
universe. They had isotopes. It's kind of like
because isotopes are a real thing in like.
Yeah.
Like
they had them in Marvel, but
like science, physics. I don't know.
They're just like little crystals in the game. They're like crystals that you can kind of enhance further. But so they had a different layer to that. The combat's pretty cool. The storyline's actually a unique storyline. This is not a storyline they used before, even though it is following the Black Order.
Yeah,
it doesn't fold out the same way the movies and stuff folded. Also, two things I would say that kind of need a little bit of work are the camera angles.
It's like over the head isometric view, right?
But it's closer in than the other ones.
Okay.
So it's like a little bit closer in. It's not bad, but like you were able to move the camera around. But in certain instances, you can't really move it around to be beneficial to you. So like some corners I go around, I can't really turn it or anything like that. Another thing is it doesn't feel as I'm not going to say dark. It doesn't feel as serious as the first one. You
mean like in
first tone? Are they just stopping like bank robbers versus someone trying to destroy the world, or
no? They're still trying to destroy the world, but like for example, I remember the second one, I believe it was like you had to rescue Nightcrawler from Mephisto, and he was in hell, like stuff like that.
So
this one's a little bit more,
a little light-hearted and jokey.
A little bit lighter. Yeah,
are the characters like telling jokes and stuff? No.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hawkeye telling jokes. You got that banter from like Tony Stark, that type of stuff.
And they're saying that wasn't the case in the earlier ones. Like they weren't as jokey or lighthearted.
It wasn't as jokey, exactly.
It could be the influence of the MCU, which has been known to be almost as comedy-like as it is serious and action-packed.
Serious, yeah.
So to try to mimic that, maybe they did go for a lighter tone. So I don't know.
I mean,
maybe
like I said, it's not bad. Combat's good, and the story's pretty good, so it's pretty good. I mean, I'd recommend it. I gave it like an 8.5, but I'm still early on, so that could change. Could go up, could go down. Aside from that, just more Mortal Kombat. I'm playing some Mortal Kombat 11.
Right.
Bruh.
Yeah.
If you notice, we played that on stream.
On your stream, fam, I was rolling.
Yeah, some pretty funny matchups, you guys.
Yeah.
We were having some fun with that.
I haven't taken the time to watch too much Mortal Kombat 11, so when I saw it on your stream, I saw you playing the Collector. I'm like, that's a cool character design.
Cool,
I think I said it like 3-4 times in your stream. Because I was doing some work and I'm going back and forth and I'm like, that's a really cool character.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I've never seen him before.
I think he's new. Like 11 is his debut.
Like a new character, yeah.
But
and like
I
when
think
he beats a person,
that's me.
if you don't finish it like fatality him or anything, he actually takes their body and stuffs it in his backpack.
Yeah,
and you'll see him walking away. You just see his their boots hanging out. And then like his fatality, he'll rip him to shreds, take the head off, put it in his bag, and then keep going.
I saw that, man.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him as a character. I was a little worried about finding the main when I got it, just because I used to play Ermac and he's not in there. So I'm like, I do feel like the character pool's a little bit light. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think it's like 25.
It's like nowhere near as many that were in 10. So I'm like, okay. Let's see how this goes. I do want to give Raiden a try. I did pick up Liu Kang, but I do enjoy the collector. I think I'm gonna main him. I just got to get a little bit more work in with him.
Mm-hmm.
I was using that stupid controller because I like to use the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, me too.
I like to use the D-pad.
Me too. So I know exactly which direction I'm pressing.
Exactly. Now with that controller, it was like the left on the D-pad doesn't work, so I had to go with the analog.
Oh.
So it took a little bit getting used to, but it was fun. We had some fun. Some I think a few people came out, and it was we had some laughs, and it was good practice.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I always love when we do fighting games on the stream, especially with people that we know or even other people. It feels like the dojo, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Going in there, you're getting your fights in, learn new strategies, learn how to read people. It's always fun, especially on stream when you can get that live feedback. It's the next best thing to couch.
And it was cool because it gave me a little bit of edge because nobody plays the collector. I feel like people sleep on him. So a lot of his moves people weren't expecting. Like that freaking whatever that is, the little
what's it called?
Whatever, I don't know. It's like with a chain on it, like a ball at the end.
Oh yeah, okay. You were like swinging it.
Yeah,
out at people.
That thing is very useful because of the reach it has on it. It's like ridiculous.
When it glows blue and then hits that low. Yeah, I seen that, man. I seen that. That was cool stuff.
So that was fun.
Almost made me pick it up that day.
Right, I was like, oh, maybe I should play more Mortal Kombat. But the thing is, like, when I played the last one, I just stopped.
We all that's what happens. Like, if I don't have people I play it with, I won't play it alone anymore.
Right.
Like, I'll practice.
Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah, you guys kind of dropped that off.
I mean, I'd go back to it. I love Soul Calibur. There's just so many games. Like that's the thing with fighting games that aren't Smash Bros. Is that there's so many other games.
So many.
I'd go back to Soul Calibur 6 though.
If I do a Soul Calibur stream, I'm gonna hit you up.
But that's all I've been playing.
All right, Blue, what have you been gaming on?
Final Fantasy 14, as usual. I think you guys saw.
Yeah, I watched. Did you end it? No, there's still like one more thing, right?
We got one more thing, and I don't want to give too many spoilers on the podcast. You got to come through the stream. Honestly, it is such a live story at the end of it, and everything is just this grand build up to the main villain. And I love this main villain. He became one of my top 5 video game antagonists of all time.
Yeah, it's super dramatic. Like he made compelling points that made the heroes sit there and kind of think about, maybe we shouldn't fight this guy.
Those are always the best villains. The one who can actually say, "Hey, what he's doing actually kind of makes a little bit of sense."
Yeah,
but he's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah, you can understand and sometimes even support their motivation. It's like, you know what? Yeah. You guys don't see eye to eye, so you gotta fight because there's no other way to get around this.
Yeah, like you got the whole hero squad. You got your character, and then all the the main NPCs, and half of them are like, I get it, but I'm not just gonna take it and sit down. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm enjoying that, and I'm trying to get every bit of it on stream. And that's just kind of been slowing me up. The first time I went through this last dungeon, we had a really bad healer. Sorry about that. We had a really bad healer, and then
you didn't have to call me out like that.
That was me.
No.
And yeah, we were at a really bad healer. Couldn't get through it dungeon, and then we had to quit. I got a pop-up stream the next day, I think it was, and we knocked it out. It was a lot of fun. I had some people that I knew with, and so now we got the last little bit of it, the final fight, coming up, and that's going to happen next week. So.
Oh yeah, we got to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune into that, see how that goes.
Most definitely, yeah. So yeah, on top of that, I've just been, I did a little bit of Forza. You know what I'm saying? Switched it up a little bit. We were trying to prep for that free-for-all that unfortunately fell through.
Right, yeah, because Forza forces you to play a whole lot of campaign. The video I watched said about 6 hours of campaign.
Approximately 6 hours
before you can unlock the ability to just play with your friends online. Or even play online in general, I think. Like, you can't even do solo stuff online until you've played up to a certain point in the story. Which I understand in some games where there's a bit of tutorial, there's some stuff you need to understand, or they don't want to throw you into like a hyper competitive thing without you knowing how to even play the game. But it's like that's usually only maybe 10-15 minutes at most an hour. Like Overwatch, for example, you got to play maybe about an hour to get to a certain rank before you can do competitive.
Exactly.
Just to play online, period. 6 hours. That's kind of crazy.
That's
really
ridiculous.
upset me. So I haven't played much Forza myself, even though I was planning on it.
Yeah, I mean that game is gorgeous.
Yes,
Let me start there. That game is gorgeous. That intro sequence is amazing, visually. And then when I went back onto it, I had a save file from before, and I saw my nice little blue car. I can't remember which one it was. I just know I look for looks when it comes to racing games more than anything.
I mean, that's half the joy of just car culture. Is like, oh, the
They
car
ain't
looks
fast,
amazing.
but it looks good.
It got flames on the front, so no. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And I'm sure we're gonna talk about this Gears 5 thing.
Right, the Gears 5 tech test.
That we kind of put some time in. I'm not impressed yet. Not yet.
Oh, with Gears? Okay, we'll go back to Gears in a second.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm just gonna go into
yeah, my bad. What you got, Sigma?
Within the week, I fell really hard back into Monster Hunter World. Like,
I noticed that.
I've been craving to play that for a long time now and just haven't gotten back into it. Or like I would log in and be like, I don't remember anything that I was doing, and then like maybe do like a really weak monster hunt and like kill it because like I'm so overpowered, and then just log off because it really didn't do anything to advance me.
Yeah.
But I hopped on with one of our Xbox chat friends, Meat Hero, and the stuff that I wasn't wrapping my head around, he was just reminding me. So then it started clicking. I was like, oh, okay, I was trying to do this. Oh, I was trying to do that. Oh, look, I had this preset armor thing here. Oh, I was working towards this. So all of it came back, and then all of a sudden I had that motivation again. Like, oh, this is what I need to do. I need to attack these monsters. I need to craft these things. And I was just back in it, like hardcore. Like, that game is, honestly, Monster Hunter World is exactly what Phantasy Star Online used to be. Like when I really started thinking about it, like the way, like how deep I was into Phantasy Star Online is Monster Hunter World. Like, it's the same game. It's just a different aesthetic around it. Like, you know, like the fact that you have a palico that you take care of. That's the exact same thing as the mag.
The mags.
Yeah, you would feed it all this stuff to get it to do these things that would then help you.
I loved that feature.
Like, that's basically you're taking care of your palico is kind of doing that for you. The prepping stuff is new, but I like it. Like there's so much strategy involved outside of just the actual hunt. Yeah, hunting mechanics. And then the hunting mechanics are amazing. Like they're It's like you're literally learning. It's like For Honor, where you have to learn the character. Like you learn a weapon in the same way. Like if you go in with a weapon you have no idea how to use, maybe you'll smack the monster a couple of times, but you're not maximizing your ability to do much damage at all. And it's like,
and time is against you too, because if the monster gets tired, he's gonna leave the area, right? So if you're not efficient, why are you out there? You're just wasting time and materials.
Yeah, we had some fun with that. I mean, it was hard for me to kind of hopped in with them for a little bit too, and it was what do I do? How do I do this again?
It's like you really forget a lot.
You're able to fill some things in, and it was fun. I mean, hunting with friends is always
the best.
Is always fun. Actually made me want to start playing it again to kind of get ready for the
Iceborne DLC, right?
Iceborne DLC.
We should play together.
We should definitely, but Blue, you need to catch up. Level? Yeah, you like.
I do need to catch up. I played it on the P4 initially, and I was endgame and everything like that. So now that's why it's so slow for me to come back up, because I'm like, I've been through this, been there, done that. I know I got crappy gear. I'm not surprised by the new things that I'm getting, and I know that it's close to impossible to link up with your friends during the story in a timely fashion.
Yeah, like
I think we can join you because we've already seen those cutscenes.
Yeah, but he has to. We have to keep waiting until after he's done his cutscenes.
Seen the cutscenes,
You can't really skip past it and da 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 da. So, but I've always said that Monster Hunter World is like the anime that I always wanted. Like the action feels really good. I play the Insect Glaive, and I think you do too, right?
Yeah, I use it some.
Bro, I love that. Jumping on people and shooting your little thing and getting the different buffs and powered up and
like it's like you're juggling so many things to make that weapon work as best as it can. Like,
and you're super mobile,
right?
You know what I mean? I think you have the most vertical distance of the other.
I don't think there's anything else that gets up that high or moves that far.
Everyone is dodging left, right, back, forward, and with the Insect Glaive, you're also jumping up to dodge things, which is super cool that you can do that. The hitboxes are super tight on that game, and it makes it feel so real. You like that? Super tight.
So, I've also been playing another game for review that's going to come out. I want to say probably Monday. So this podcast will probably be out by the time it's out. Mm-hmm. But it actually released previously on the PS4 anyway. It's this game called Vane. It's made by former Team Ico developers, so people who made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, and then The Last Guardian. Some folks who I guess splintered off from that team at some point made their own kind of indie, thought-provoking thing. Like the closest thing I can compare it to is that other PS4 game, Journey.
Yeah.
But this game is gorgeous. It has a couple of hiccups, but I honestly enjoyed it quite a bit. And it's surprising because like there's no dialogue, there's no words anywhere. Like you don't know what's happening. There's a lot of weird things that are taking place, but they don't tell you overtly what's even going on. You just kind of move from one sequence to the next, and then at the end of it, you're just like, okay, that was a game. That was a game. But even so, even though it was that like vague and abstract, like I still felt like I kind of enjoyed what was there. So that actually surprised me because usually I'm not into games that are that big. Like I wanna get some kind of understanding at the end of it, and this one kind of just left me scratching my head. But it still kind of conveyed a lot of positive and negative emotions, but it felt like it was on purpose, you know. So that's kind of what I got out of it. Like I felt like they designed certain things to make you feel a certain way, and I was kind of just falling into the trap all the way through. So I don't know. I appreciated what it was. So that was interesting. But other than that, last night or yesterday, I think the Gears 5 tech test went live.
Yeah.
So if you pre-ordered the game, or if you signed up for Game Pass Ultimate, which is their combination of Game Pass, Xbox Live, and Game Pass for PC, you got access to this tech test. And it's just multiplayer stuff, no story-related stuff. But they let you check out some of the modes, but I wanted to check out the escape mode, which is like the newest thing that Gears is showing, but it's kind of like a random playlist, it looked like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like you hop into the random playlist and then they just throw you into whatever. So I couldn't pick escape outright, but they put me into like 2 deathmatch matches, and it felt like standard Gears, with the exception of I think it was an arcade variant. So they didn't have the Nasher shotgun. And I'm kind of mixed about this because, and the thing is, since I didn't get to see what the regular competitive looks like, I don't know if this is like a permanent change or just kind of an arcade variant. But you have to do things in the match, like you get kills, you get assists, you get pickups and stuff, and you accrue points in like the top corner. And once you have a certain amount of points, you can press the Y button, and then you can see there are certain weapons you can then upgrade to. So you don't pick up stuff off the map anymore.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty new then.
Yeah, so as you play the game, you get points, and then you can pick better weapons to use in the game. But
you kind of earn it out.
Yeah, so the better you do in the game, though, then the faster you earn points and the better weapons you get. So this is kind of that repeating cycle where if you're already really good, you get tools to make you even better against people who maybe aren't doing so good.
It's steamrolling.
Yeah.
You get exponentially harder to kill.
Right. And you were already hard to kill, which is allowing you to get... So I'm not sure I like that. And it is a tech test, so I'm wondering if you go to their forums to actually report this kind of stuff, if it's something that they'll maybe listen to. But I was listening to other people online talk about their experience while they were playing and stuff. And another guy basically said like, oh, this is just arcade. And in competitive, the shotgun and stuff is all there. So I don't know if that also means all the weapons are back on the ground and stuff, and it's like regular Gears of War 4. But
it's probably just that arcade variant.
Right, yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking. But that was all I really got to touch. And other than those tiny changes, it felt a whole lot like Gears. Like, they added like a melee with a knife as opposed to like the weapons, it seems like.
Oh, okay.
And the chainsaw,
Sorry, I just wanted to say that I don't think they had it in Gears 4, but there's a counter to some of your melee attacks. So if someone's doing the mantle towards you, that mantle melee, you can counter that and drag them down, which is cool.
That was in there.
Okay, so like I thought that there was like a 1-2 combo to knock them down melee wise, and then you can go into the execution. I thought that segment was pretty interesting. It all looked clean as heck too.
Yeah, the game looks great.
Yeah,
but it feels so familiar, and I feel like the Coalition, the Gears devs, they really like since they took over the franchise for Gears 4 was their first Gears game. I've heard interviews where they said like they wanted to be careful not to change too much because they're basically taking over the baby from Epic or whatnot, and they don't want to alienate the fans or alienate the franchise and stuff. They want to prove to people that they can do a Gears game, which they did, but it was more of the same, so it kind of became background noise. So with this one, they're like, okay, well, we proved we can do a Gears game. Now we want to kind of put our own spin on it. And so far, I'm not seeing what that spin is. Like maybe in the single player story, they're trying to do more outlandish and new things. But as far as multiplayer goes, so far it seems like more of the same. And honestly, that's probably what most people want who are big Gears fans.
Yep.
So, but for me, I still need to see a lot more. Like it didn't really wow me. But it is a tech test. Like it's not there to basically show you what's coming. It's there to kind of just test their service. So,
yeah. I have similar view on it. I felt like a lot of it was Gears 4. I did enjoy the little training mode they had you do before it, the boot camp.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought the banter was cool. The visuals were nice. And I liked how it kind of made sense why you were going through that. Like Briar is his name, I think. He was trying out new. Just trying to Beard. Yeah, he was. He had the little.
Briar.
I don't. Sorry. I'm not. If you haven't noticed, I'm not a huge Gears head. But I can appreciate the good game. I can appreciate a good game, even if I don't like it.
Yeah, that world is actually like it's a lot. I feel like we talked about this before, but the Gears universe is a lot deeper than it looks like on the surface.
Yeah,
a lot more emotional.
Right. Yeah, and like the characters have a lot more personality than you would think by just looking at them. Like they look like big meatheads and stuff. But like Baird is like really funny, and he's the smart guy.
Yeah,
like he's like the tech guy and stuff. He's really funny. Coltrane is like outlandish. He's hilarious and stuff. Marcus and Dom's friendship and stuff. But like these newer characters, honestly, I don't know them that well because I've never finished the Gears 4 campaign. Like it was just maybe I will go back to it. Like especially before 5 comes out, which is not that far from now.
No, it's pretty soon.
So
I mean, 5 to me, I don't want to see a change in most stuff. Being like Gears 4, there's nothing wrong with that. What I would like to see is some new weapons, some new enemy types. As far as PvP goes, some new modes. I mean, the modes are really fun. They had like dodgeball and Guardian and stuff like that. And those game modes are pretty fun. I'm hoping that with PvP, we kind of just don't change it too much.
Yeah,
add some variants to game types. Because I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it today. Some different weapons, some different maps, and some different choices as far as customization. The cards system.
Yeah, I hope they get rid of that entirely. I don't
really care for it because you can just keep buying getting packs, and never get the actual character that you want. I would more maybe like if you're gonna have that, make it possible to use some of that gold to actually buy the character that you want.
Specific thing that you want.
That actually reminded me. I did notice, and again, this could just be that variant, that arcade variant, but the different characters you pick have different attributes. Like there was a guy who wore sunglasses, and it said that he was like less affected by like stun from like I guess like flashbangs or whatever. And like one of the you didn't see that? But one of the Hive characters you picked, apparently like he's like slightly faster, like he moves quicker, especially in sprint and stuff.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they have different starting loadouts. So like you'll pick a character and they'll start with the chainsaw bayonet, but you'll pick a different character and they start with like the hammer burst or something. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like separating them into more class type, or at least just slightly different versions of that standard Gears soldier.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that sticks around.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, actually.
It
reminds me kind of like the way Rainbow Six does certain things as far as different characters with loadouts.
I think that's what Blue was trying to get out this whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to talk about Siege.
I beat you to it.
Did you, though?
Do you play Siege? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I did, so that's why I was, letting you know.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay. So, I mean, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add about Gears 5 in general, or the tech test specifically?
No, but I'm gonna try it today, and we'll probably get you some feedback on the next podcast to let you know anything if we had any more updates about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's done today, or is it Monday? I think it was supposed to be just this weekend. So I don't know.
I thought it was like longer than the weekend. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to double check.
Get some info on that.
We're gonna play today.
So that's it for what we've been playing.
Yeah.
We're gonna move into our topics. First on the docket, honestly, there hasn't been a lot of gaming related news. Still post E3, it's the summertime. Things are kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Things are kind of slow.
Everybody's got their head down. They're grinding on the games that they got.
But it is San Diego Comic-Con season. Like, that's going on right now. So we've been getting a ton of news about nerd-related media, like just movies, TV shows, stuff like that. But just before that stuff, we actually had 2 trailers drop for Netflix shows. Well, one is a Netflix show, my bad. The Witcher show. We talked about it a little bit last week. Jeff, you're a big Witcher fan. What did you think of the actual trailer?
It looked great. So apparently they're going to follow the short stories. They're not going to. They have some aspects of the game, but they're going to follow the stories, the novels, for the most part. Mm-hmm. And it kind of tells the story of how elves were the original inhabitants of, let's just say, Earth. Humans and demons and stuff came after. And the elves kind of taught the humans how to use magic or manipulate the chaos or whatever it is. And what happens is the humans then turned on the elves.
Backfired, Yes.
Yeah, you never trust humans, man. They always
never trust them humans, man. It's most likely it's gonna kind of, without spoiling anything, it's probably gonna go into how maybe a faction of elves are kind of gonna want revenge, working with the demons, something. Yeah,
they should. Yeah. So, very understandable.
But it looks aesthetically, it looks amazing. Henry Cavill actually looks pretty good as Geralt.
I mean, I haven't played The Witcher. I've seen The Witcher a bunch, but Henry Cavill, doesn't he look a little too big?
No, Geralt's pretty.
Is he is he like that big? Because they showed Henry Cavill with his shirt off, and I'm like, yo, this guy is mad buff. This dude is a monster. Like, geez.
Like they must have filmed this like right after Superman.
Yeah, he looks bigger than he did as Superman. Like he looks bigger than he was in Superman.
Even if you've seen him in Mission Impossible, he was big.
Yeah,
jeez, he was a big dude.
He's been showing off a lot on social media, his gains.
Let that man rest.
But Geralt is a big dude. Geralt is he's not a small guy. So I mean, I definitely recommend playing The Witcher if you haven't. But once again, problem is too many games. This is a game that's going to kind of take some time.
Right.
I played it, got pretty far towards the end of it, and my disc stopped working.
Bruh.
Like, I'll buy the Game of the Year edition instead of buying the DLC separately. My save didn't carry over.
I was about to say it's not going to carry over.
I was so peeved.
That is
so
messed up.
I've been slowly getting back towards the end, but I definitely want to do the DLC. It's fun. But The Witcher has a very, I think you said this about Gears, it's very deep. It has a very, very rich lore about it. Because think about it. It has monsters from different origins, different customs that are kind of intertwined into there. And there probably is some mixes on their strengths, their weaknesses, what they are, how they look. But like Yennefer and Trish, they look pretty cool. And I see that they're going the route towards Ciri, which is one of the characters from the game. You actually see the young girl in the trailer. So they're going that route, and it looks very, very good. They must have had a pretty big budget for this because
some of the special effects in there actually looked pretty impressive.
Because there's a lot of magic. I mean, witches don't use magic. They use signs and alchemy and stuff like that.
Alchemy, yeah.
So it's going to be a very, 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 very good series, I believe. And I think that's kind of what you guys are going to see once it comes out. What did you guys kind of think of it? Because pretty much Blue, you're in between. You've played some of The Witcher?
So okay, I've watched a lot of footage of The Witcher. Witcher 3. I've had it recommended to me by a lot of my good friends. You know, you got those trusted friends that like if they say something's good, you're like, I know what everyone else is saying, but I trust you. Yeah. Right. I've had some of those cats say it's an amazing game. I definitely need to try it. Especially because I was a huge fan of Dragon Age Origins. And so it was kind of like along that same fantasy RPG with a little bit more action. So all that to say, no, I haven't played it yet. But I watched this trailer, and this trailer made me want to buy it today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
$30.
It made me want to play The Witcher 3, knowing that I've had such great recommendations for it already, and this trailer looks amazing. Like you guys said, the special effects look great, and the way that they already kind of told everything that Jeff just said in the trailer, they say, look, this is the plot. This is what's about to happen. Watch and enjoy the ride. I like what's going on so far. I don't feel like this trailer gave away too much. I'm super interested to see who the Witcher is exactly and how he's navigating and what his role is in this whole human elf conflict. So, yeah, let's do it to it.
I think it also looks good. My whole thing with The Witcher is I know how much of a time sink that game is, and I'm just afraid to get sucked into it. Like it's the same. Yeah. It was the same thing with like Diablo and some of these other games, where it's like if I know that the commitment is like just super hefty, I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna even fall into that trap because I know that there's all this other stuff that I haven't touched yet and that I can get to and actually finish. So I won't say that it made me want to go back and play the game. Like, kind of listening to you guys talk about the game makes me want to go play the game. But the trailer itself, honestly, I'm excited about it because for someone who hasn't played the game, I can finally learn about The Witcher, you know? Like, that's a much more passive way to actually get into that world and stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
That's how I felt about Castlevania.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did it do a good job of kind of gaining your interest as from somebody who hasn't played the games? Did it do a good job of kind of catering to that audience?
I don't... Like, if I didn't know that if I didn't know it was a TV show based on that game, I probably wouldn't. I don't think it would be as interesting, to be honest. Like, someone who doesn't know anything about, like, maybe if they were just a fantasy fan in general, maybe. But, like, outside of, like, that heavy nerd culture, like, if you just saw that and was like, huh. Like, if, I don't know if it would pull you in.
I think that trailer was dramatic enough to pull me in if I didn't know The Witcher was a game.
But I feel like that trailer was good enough. You're like a fantasy fan.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like I personally like stuff that's just fantasy. That's not a thing for me. Like there has to be something else involved.
Yeah.
So the fact that I know that The Witcher is an amazing game series made by this amazing game development studio, that's the only reason why I wanted to even check out the game. Like I don't care that it's a fantasy setting. I care that apparently it's an amazing game. So now that they're doing a show about that game, that's my interest. It's like, okay, this is a video game thing. I want to see how well they translate the video game into a story. The fact that it's fantasy is like secondary. So if you're not into fantasy, I wonder how good that looks to you.
Okay, I could see that. But yeah, you know, that was exactly my thing with Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not into that kind of sci-fi horror necessarily, but I can see it's an amazing show.
Okay, I actually did finish it recently, and yes, it is amazing. So
yeah, my girl's watching it right now.
I don't feel like the story progressed enough, though. Like, there's still a bunch of unanswered questions, but we won't get into that now.
Right That's other Netflix stuff. Recording, my girl was watching it. I heard her go, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, okay,
okay, but that's gonna do it for The Witcher and Netflix stuff. We're gonna move on to another movie trailer that dropped. This is a TV movie, though, but it's for Steven Universe, the movie. I'm super hyped for this. Like, you guys all watched the trailer, right?
It looked really good.
Like, Jeff, you've been catching up, right? Have you actually got to the end of it now?
Because I'll put it on when I use it as that kind of, I don't have anything else to watch, so let's put Steven Universe on and start catching up. I've gained some progress, some of the fusions and stuff later on. I had some stuff spoiled for me by accident, which I didn't really understand the full context of it, so I really didn't spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I know something's gonna happen with like what was it, like the White Diamond or something? And
yeah, that's like
I don't know.
End of
There was
series
stuff going on. I saw like I was like, oh, what's this? Like, because sometimes I'll go through YouTube and it'll play stuff without clicking on it.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it started playing some of that, and I was like, oh crap. But I mean, I do love it. It's a great series. Mm-hmm. It was what I went to after Adventure Time, but it's a great series.
It's a good progression.
Yeah, the characters are great, but they also have life lessons in it. Which very it's like, hey, we're a cartoon. It's funny, but hey, this is real.
Yeah, this is real for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely interested in checking out the movie. Did they say if it's going to be theaters or is it going to be straight to...
No, it's going to be on Cartoon Network. I think it's on September 2nd.
I believe so.
It's out. So they're going to be...
We should do like a watch
big
party
TV event. We should.
Oh my God, we should. That would be super cool. That's a really good idea.
Thank you. I have a lot of those.
I don't know about that, but I'm writing this one down. Yeah. But Blue, you also have been catching up. Like, you're not at the stage where stuff in this trailer is going to make sense to you, right?
Okay, so I started watching it before. I was like 2 episodes shy of finishing the whole thing, right? Then life hit, and I had to stop. And now I'm with my girl now, and she's like, I've thought about it. I was like, oh, we got to watch it. So I'm rewatching it right now. And we're good. Like, we're getting towards the end. Okay. We're almost done. We've been putting in some good work, and like Steven Universe is one of those shows where they start off super slow and annoying.
He is a little bit annoying in the very beginning.
Honestly, it takes legit about 40 episodes for this show to get like, oh,
you think so?
That's what I think.
Man,
he's super annoying for a long time, and then some things happen that's pivotal, and he's like, oh, life is real. People are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
These people have bad, these people lie. Nobody's telling me the truth about this. And he starts growing up really fast emotionally. And that's when, he's talking about the loss of his mom or his mom not being there, it starts getting real. And that's when it starts getting emotional. So going back to this movie trailer, I love seeing a grown-up Steven.
Right.
That was actually one of the concerns that they had, that he was going to actually grow up. They didn't know how big he was going to get.
Yeah, because of his weird physiology.
Yeah, so it was cool to see that, right? He seems so much more confident. He's got that deep voice.
Right. That's the thing I really appreciate with this generation of Cartoon Network shows, is that they'll get... And they've been doing this for a long time. Like, Hey Arnold back in the day even did it, where they got actual kids to voice the characters, right?
Yeah.
But in this instance, they let those kids age. And the characters age in real time. Just like Finn in Adventure Time, as that voice actor got older, as the actors for... Well, they actually changed the actors for Gumball a couple of times, but they still let them grow up, and you hear the change in their voices, and even do shows about them growing up and them changing, which is dope.
And being concerned... It's kind of like, these cartoon characters are going through the rite of passages of their culture, just like the kids today are.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really nice to see that. There's a lot, and just in general, there's a lot of focus on emotional health that I'm seeing in these cartoons, and I like it. It's something that's huge in my life, and I like seeing it portrayed not just, in a nice, fun cartoon fashion, but to younger people too. Some of that stuff, that education that I missed out on when I was younger. So back to the trailer. It was awesome. I think the villain looks crazy.
She looks like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Yes.
And Luffy from One Piece had a baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. That's pretty perfect right there.
But I do.
Oh my gosh.
From my sake, after. And I don't want to spoil anything for Jeff or you, I guess, for the very end. But like after kind of seeing some of the end stuff, she does kind of seem like she comes out of nowhere. I'm wondering, like, how does this character fit into the world? Like, I'm wondering, like, why is this character a bad guy now after everything that's happened? So I'm interested to see how they tie that in. I hope that comes in cohesively. But aside from that, like, everything in the trailer looks dope. Like, I'm happy because the way the show ends, it's kind of like it's very neatly wrapped up, like kind of too neatly wrapped up. I feel like so there needed to be a bit of a bigger conflict at the ending stage. So I'm hoping that they kind of hit that note with this movie. But other than that stuff, the music, I'm super excited to hear new songs.
Yo, the music is great. I love the music.
Chance the Rapper's going to be on
Chance the Rapper's in it.
Yo, I'm so excited about that.
Dude, like this, like just a little bit that they were playing of Estelle singing as Garnet.
Yes.
Like I don't want to show y'all my singing voice right now, but
no, okay.
But like it's in my head already. Like the music that was playing in the trailer. I'm not doing it. No.
No, you won't.
But the music that was playing in the trailer, like it's in my head constantly, like right now. Like it's
Which song?
I'm hyped for it.
Which song is it that's stuck in your head?
I'm not gonna sing it. You're not gonna.
We trying to get you this record deal, man. What's going on? Don't be scared.
Nah, get out of here. But yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest things. And I found it weird. Like there was a news story before the trailer dropped that said, "Oh, Steven Universe the movie is gonna be a musical." I'm like, the whole show was a musical. What do you mean?
And
like, did you expect nothing less? Like, get out of here. But so yeah, those are my two big things.
Real news would be Steven Universe movie is not going to be a musical.
Right, that would be a shock.
That would be some news.
It's going to be a monologue the whole entire movie.
It's just Steven in a room.
Just
like,
Steven's face.
It's going to be the end of Evangelion.
Oh my gosh. That's one of the things that is a huge selling point for Steven Universe for me, is the music itself. Like, ever since me and my girl started rewatching it, that playlist comes up sometimes when we're in the car. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're at home. There's a couple like really relaxing songs in them. Some that were just really fun to sing.
I used to be able to play Giant Woman on a ukulele.
Bro, that is one of my favorite songs.
First
That's probably
is,
top 3 for me.
Why do you have a ukulele?
It was for Adam.
And where is it? For Adam.
Right now it's at his mom's house. But I learned the song to inspire him because he loves the songs from Steven Universe too. I could play that and I could play the intro song.
Let's hear it.
The ukulele's not here, so.
So you're not trying to sing. You ain't trying to play no instruments.
You gotta pay money for that. That's on. That's gonna be on the Patreon version.
Is
that the YouTube Premium?
Right
yeah, YouTube Red. But unless you guys have anything else you want to add about the Steven Universe trailer?
No, I'm excited. Excited for it.
Much hype.
Check out the watch party. Check out the watch party.
Yeah, we're gonna post some stuff about possibly doing that. So hopefully
there will
that
be
all
snacks.
works out. Anyway, so
Jeff's always bringing snacks.
Off of TV stuff, we're gonna get into movies, specifically Marvel movies. San Diego Comic-Con, like we mentioned, is going on right now, and Marvel just announced pretty much all of the Phase 4 projects. So we got a bunch of stuff on TV, we got a bunch of stuff coming to movies, got a bunch of stuff coming to their new streaming service. Yeah. Some of the biggest news, apparently, the Fantastic Four is now finally coming back to the MCU. So I've never liked Fantastic Four. So how do you guys feel about this?
Fantastic Four, I watched the cartoon as a kid. I loved the Fantastic Four.
I thought that cartoon was whack.
I loved it. It was so. That's when I first got they introduced Daredevil, and it was like, okay, who's this guy?
Daredevil had a short-lived cartoon too, didn't he?
I think it came from this.
It was like a spin-off of Fantastic Four.
Wow.
Yeah, they introduced him on the Fantastic Four, and then and then it kind of rolled over. But I loved the Fantastic Four. There was also, they had a lot of their comics were really good, but because of the whole Fox and Marvel thing, Disney kind of stopped doing the Fantastic Four cartoons. I mean, comics, because they
like throwing shade.
Why? Yeah, why are we going to do this?
Yeah, they didn't want to promote Fox's mishandling of the license.
And then and that kind of showed in it, because I doubt they reached out for any type of like comic integrity for these comics. I mean, for the movies, because they were bad. They were bad.
Really?
And this is from somebody who wanted to like them, and they were just really, really, from the mishandling of Galactus to.
Yeah, didn't they say they made him like a cloud?
Yeah, it was like some type of. It was like a cloud. There was no body to it. There was just these, it was just this big cloud that kind of needed to feed on planets. But, without going too far into that, I am glad they're back. I want to see what Marvel does with them. But my problem is, how are we going to explain their existence after all these movies have been going on? And I think that's where I'm wondering if the multiverse is going to come into play, or if some type of changes to the timeline happened because of the whole effect with Thanos. Because how are we going to explain the Fantastic Four were around all this time, and they were just chilling in the Baxter Building when all this was going on with Thanos?
I have a theory on that.
Oh, you have a theory? What's that?
If you looked at a lot of the movies that they've announced, one of them is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's the subtitle for Doctor Strange 2 that they announced. So, just like we were thinking with Spider-Man 4, I didn't actually watch Spider-Man Far From Home yet.
I'm gonna try to go see it today.
It's fun, y'all. Let me know what you think.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't. We were thinking about multiverse stuff in that, but I don't know. I don't know how much it plays into this. But Doctor Strange may be the one to do it because he literally kind of goes through different dimensions and stuff.
Yes.
So maybe this movie is going to be how they actually do it. If
I think
Spider-Man
that's going to
didn't
be pretty
already
interesting. Yeah.
But then, Blue, you had something you want to add about Fantastic Four?
Honestly, my favorite part of Fantastic Four is Doctor Doom. I mean, the rest of them are boring to me.
Just a hater, bro. Doctor Doom can be a very compelling villain, but he wasn't done right in any of the movies.
Yeah, Doom does seem to be the most interesting thing about the Fantastic Four.
I mean, even the comics, he's like
general.
I mean, even if you remember playing the Ultimate Alliance, since we talked about that, he wound up getting what was it, Odin's power?
Yeah, he became a god or whatnot, right?
Yeah. So it's
he's a boss.
He is a very, very interesting villain. Just a side thing, if you ever checked out the Secret Wars, that was actually a really good series. Both the Marvel Universe and Ultimate Universe collided. Both were destroyed. Doom, they went to see these entities from the universe that gave Doom the powers of the Beyonder. Doom created like a pocket world where he kind of kept everybody alive, but he was a king, and it was kind of like a Game of Thrones-esque rule where he had like barons and stuff like that in different houses. So definitely check that out if you haven't already.
Do you think that's something that they could incorporate into the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like
that would be pretty cool.
That's gonna be a stretch.
It would work, but it was gonna be. They're gonna have to start laying those breadcrumbs like now,
right?
Because they're gonna.
Yeah.
They got to introduce. They're gonna need with the Eternals coming out. I think they're gonna need
that's
some
another
new.
Thing that they announced.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping they introduce some new blood because they're gonna need that to kind of start building towards whatever their end game is gonna be. We have no idea what it's gonna be for Phase 4.
Yeah, this is gonna be wild.
But another big announcement is Blade is back.
Yeah,
and they cast Mahershala Ali.
I was looking that up to see how to say it right, and I was like, okay, if he gives you a chance, I'm gonna try and say it right the first time. You did a good job with that.
Yeah.
What perfect casting! Like the thing is, they kind of burned a lot of good characters in the Netflix series, but now that they're kind of disowning it, think about how many of those characters are now kind of just up for grabs to now actually become big movie stars. Yep. So maybe it's a little bit of a good thing that Netflix kind of lost.
He's done a few
connection.
good things. He was in was it Detectives?
Yeah, he was in True Detective. This
he did a really
season.
good job on that. I think he's an amazing actor. My only problem is I wonder how he's gonna handle the physical role of it.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't think I've seen him in
he hasn't
an
done
action
any action-esque things.
I'm excited
because if you remember, that's all Wesley Snipes did.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes is a trained martial artist.
All he did was martial arts.
But honestly, I don't think that's too crazy because the way they kind of do camera tricks nowadays,
I was gonna say
pretty much everybody like
strobe lights,
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, those guys aren't martial artists, but they friggin' Scarlett Johansson, she is not a martial artist, but they be making her look good.
I am excited about his cast. I think he's a very good actor, and I mean everything he does, I pretty much love it. Did you see the one where he was a musician?
Right, the Green Book,
and he had the white driver.
Green Book, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Blue did.
We could talk about the Green Book another time. The movie itself, I didn't like. His acting, I loved. I'll say that. So, yeah, to make the point for this topic, yes, he was great in that movie. But I think that, just like you guys said, perfect casting. What I like the most is that the look that they gave him, because I think they had like one screenshot. The look that they gave him, looks so much like Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Right.
Right? I like that they didn't go far left or say like, oh, we're trying to do something different, right? Because I think the first Blades were good.
They were good.
And so this the TV show, just saying.
Yeah, no, we ain't talking about that.
Was that TV show not well liked? I don't remember.
Not by me.
By me and Jeff. So that's all that matters. But I like how pretty much, they're giving homage to Wesley Snipes' Blade, and I think as long as they do the action right, this is going to be an amazing movie.
Speaking of that, they're doing a Morbius movie.
Morbius.
Right. Michael
But
Morbius.
That's the Fox, though, right? That's not MCU, is it?
No, that's because remember MCU acquired all the Foxes.
Did they?
Yeah,
because Disney acquired
because
stuff.
Aren't they still doing a Venom 2? Like, isn't that outside of the stuff?
Yeah, they didn't say this was part of it, but Morbius, they haven't explained if it's going to be part of it, but it was acquired by Disney before it started filming. It hasn't even started filming yet.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Not Fox, I'm sorry. That's a Sony thing.
Yeah.
Yo.
But I am interested to see if they kind of incorporate that, because if you remember from that cartoon, Blade kind of showed up on Spider-Man and the whole Morbius and Black Cat situation. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how these things tie together. That's going to be the very interesting part of Phase 4, is how all these different parts are going to fit into each other and what we're going to get out of it.
I mean, we've seen them do it successfully before. So
now I do want to see
them, do it a second time.
I do want to say I'm afraid of Phase 4. Only because when a series starts introducing time travel and timelines and multiverses, things get really twisted.
Really confusing, right?
Or
prime example.
Work really well.
Well, obviously there's two options to that. But it's like, when it comes to look at X-Men, the whole X-Men series. No one knows what's going on
anymore.
Well, that's not because of that was just bad writing.
Because they cleaned it up for a quick second, and then they went off the rails again.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you already have this little time slip in Endgame, right? And we talking about multiverses. So we got parallel universes and we got changed timelines. Hopefully, they kind of wrap it up in the beginning of all these of Phase 4, so everybody knows what page we're on. Because right now, when I see an X-Men movie, I figure all of them are standalones. It's easier to look at that, to watch those movies as standalone movies, than to say, oh, which one does that go back to? And then there was that different actor, and then it was that timeline, but this didn't happen, but then he got up, but then he didn't, and it's like...
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Endgame.
Yes.
1 to 10.
Oh, I'm gonna say 8.5. 8.
Okay.
I'll say 8.
If you make a good movie, people will excuse the small things.
That doesn't mean that that's good.
I'm just letting you know, because some things just can't be neatly wrapped up. Now, if they hit that dead on, like, hey, some movies they kind of like bring that to the forefront. Hey, didn't make sense, but guess what? We did it. So let's move on. But some time travel is very, very, very delicate, and it has to be handled a certain way. I don't believe the same thing about different about the multiverse. I believe that can be handled a lot easier than time travel.
Yes, I'll give you that. But like I said, I'm just afraid of those elements in the mix of a good series. That's all.
Well, speaking of another series, how do you guys feel about the animated Marvel Studios What If?
Why? Yeah. Are they just bored? Or if this is like an intern program, that would be super cool. You know what I mean? Like,
you guys don't like the idea?
No.
Because in the comics, I mean, it's the comics. This is a comic series or whatever, right? Where they kind of just give you what if scenarios. Like, what if the Punisher had not Batman, had Deadpool's powers or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, they've done that.
But the thing is, they have like the actual voice talent reprising roles and stuff too, to kind of make it authentic in a certain way. You feel like it's too much.
I feel like the What If series is what half the X-Men series was.
What if? What if Mystique didn't die?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
what if she did?
I mean, it's a fun.
It's like an anthology type thing. Yeah, like if they tell, awesome one-off story, like think of it as like Black Mirror, but for Marvel. Now
that you said
they've done the comics. Like I said, they did Frank Castle became Venom, stuff like that. There's been a bunch of different ones. It could be fun, and it could be something, hey, if you want to check us out and see these what ifs. I mean, because I'd watch it being a fan of the comics and whatnot, so I'd check it out.
And the fact that it's animated, I feel like, is cool too, because Marvel doesn't really.
Marvel animation sketch.
Yeah, like their stuff hasn't
They've
been.
They've done some good stuff, but it hasn't
quality.
been exactly. It hasn't been as high quality as DC, which has been. The stories haven't been as compelling. They've done like Wolverine versus the Hulk and Hulk versus Thor and Doctor Strange and Invincible Iron Man, but those were all in the 2000s, like early 2000s.
Yeah, with this being announced alongside all the other projects, it makes me feel like they're maybe putting a bit more attention into it. They're getting like, A plus talent to do voice work and stuff. Like, I'm excited to see how it turns out. What if it's good?
I was.
What if it's bad? That's the other options.
I feel like the initial concept of a multiverse was the what if question, right? In another universe, what if Superman was evil? In another universe, what if I don't know, something else?
KC
Spider-Man was black. I know I said DC at first. I know we're talking about Marvel.
Spider-Man is black, by the way.
Yeah.
He's mixed.
He's mixed. There you go, yo. Rep your sect.
Anyhow, I mean, anything else that comes to mind about any of these Phase 4 announcements? Anything you're excited about? Anything you want to bring to light before we move on?
No.
Probably going to sleep on Black Widow. I was looking through them. I'm probably going to sleep through Black Widow. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm not super interested in.
I'll check it out.
I have no idea.
I feel like I have to out of obligation, but yeah, that matchup doesn't seem interesting to me.
I'm gonna watch them because.
Did you mention the WandaVision?
I was just about to talk.
Is that a show or a movie?
Somehow I'm interested in that.
I think that's gonna be a show, isn't it?
I don't know. But either way, I feel like both those characters got no real development or screen time, which makes me not care about them. But this could be the opportunity to give that to them, so maybe it'll be okay.
To see why, like in Endgame, she's like, "You took everything from me." You know what I mean? Because like I was like, yeah, y'all hang out, and kind of date, but
also his brother. No, that didn't really affect. He didn't really do that, but yeah. I think it might be. It could be good.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna sleep harder in, right? Okay, so you got Black Widow, definitely gonna sleep, but I'm talking straight comatose in this Hawkeye thing. I do not want to see a Hawkeye.
Honestly, I want to see
his character.
I want to see a dope Archer, like.
Archer,
of course you do.
Like Arrow was up and down. Like there were some good parts in it, there were some bad parts in it, but I want to see like just nonsense archery. Like that's what I'm hyped about.
He says he wants to see the movie Wanted with arrows.
Right? Yes.
He wants to shoot the wings off a fly.
Do that. That's what I want to see. Like the way, maybe because of course they had different budgets, but the way Hawkeye's archery is portrayed versus the way Green Arrow's archery is portrayed, they're not. You can't compare them. Hawkeye is a much better archer if you were going to go by just how they look in those two mediums.
Yeah.
So if they keep up that kind of budget, even though they're putting him on a show series... Matter of fact, is it even going to be Jeremy Renner or is it his daughter they're following?
I thought it was going to be both.
Is it? Yeah, I don't remember. But
from what I read, I thought it was going to be both.
Make the archery dope and you got yourself a series. That's how I feel about it. Okay. I'm a big archery fan. For God knows why. I have no idea why.
And then Thor: Love and Thunder. I have enjoyed everything about Thor since Ragnarok.
Yeah. Taika Waititi's influence on the character is amazing. Like that is a funny dude. And
yes.
I know Jeff isn't the biggest fan of the kind of comedy turn. Like he wants Thor to be big and strong and stuff.
That so if you ever watched the Planet Hulk movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't watched it, but I know it.
Yeah. I've watched it.
Be ashamed of yourself, by the way. If you ever watched it, great. Even the comic, great great comic, great story arc. I feel like they squandered that. I mean, I felt like the Hulk was just there for like immediate relief. Just something. I'm okay with funny stuff. I'm okay with the one-liners. I'm okay with adding those in. But like stuff like, okay, your dad just died. You just lost your hammer. Like a bunch of your people got slaughtered, and there was no kind of transition into that to see that in the character.
Bro, he was depressed the whole movie. That's why he couldn't use the lightning.
But he's like, Jeff is kind of saying that you see kind of the aftermath. Like, you don't see his descent into being Bro Thor. You know, like, you just see him like that, and you're like, I get why that would have happened, but for him to come this far is kind of jarring. Like, I get that. Like knowing what he was and then seeing how he is then, like, without seeing the shift, I get it. It's kind of jarring.
Now, if that would have happened over the movies, like, well, kind of at a certain point, but it wasn't as much. Like,
yeah. If he was pessimistic for one
would have been, 2 would have been him spending more time on Earth and kind of, getting a sense of humor and stuff like that. I mean, because it's the fact that it's Thor making jokes that makes it funny to me. Because, I mean, it just is. I mean, because you don't expect that from him, but also he does it as if he was like some foreigner who kind of, doesn't understand certain jokes.
Right, because that's how he was in the beginning. Like, when in the first Avengers, like, he was kind of like out of touch, almost as much as Captain America. Like, they were playing that for jokes that he was like from elsewhere. But like at this point, he's like, no,
he's just a funny dude.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel like they squandered the Planet Hulk whole situation. I wanted that to actually be like prevalent. And all you saw was him and Hulk fighting in the arena. That was it. And then that was it.
They have the possibility to go back and show you kind of what led up to that. Like,
well, no, there's stuff that's supposed to happen after it.
After that,
if you remember, Thor wasn't on Sakaar, is what the planet was called.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk was there. He got the little chip implanted in him. He's made to fight in the arena. He wound up overthrowing the king. Him and the king's protector, because they found out the king was actually the one who killed her family and made it seem like he was the one who saved her. They got married, had a baby. Hulk only ended up on Sakaar because the Illuminati sent him there, which was like.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. That's way in the weeds, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And then it was him saving the planet. He actually wound up having a son with her, and then the planet being destroyed by the same ship that sent him there, and then him being enraged.
But then that's going back to basically saying like you're mad that it's not like the comics, and you already know the MCU is not like the comics.
No. I'm even that whole. I feel like it was squandered. It was made more as a joke, as opposed to. Like, if they would have had him in the arena a little bit longer. They'd have had him in the arena a little bit longer, fighting some people, you know what I'm saying? Or, added some aspects to that. I'd have been a little bit more happy. But it was more like, okay, you get there, they fight, and that was the end of the arena.
You were really excited for that.
Yeah, basically you wanted to see a Planet Hulk movie. Yeah. That's what you're saying.
No, I wanted to see more aspects of it as opposed to just using it for that small.
Because it wasn't about that. That's the thing. Like, it was Thor's movie,
if you're gonna
he shows up there to pull Hulk back.
Think about it. If you got like, okay, I got these 3, I don't know, plots or whatever. Mm-hmm. I can only use them once because that's all they can use them. That's usually how it works.
I still think they can go back. They could tell you a story about Hulk's time on that planet before Thor got there. It doesn't have to be exactly like what happened in the comic. But you could tell a story about what happened between Hulk leaving the planet and then Thor showing up.
How likely do you think that's going to happen?
If they wanted to.
Honestly, they're doing a movie about Black Widow.
Yeah, they're doing a Black Widow origin. They're doing a Loki side story. Like, you could this could totally happen. This could honestly totally happen.
What's wrong with a Black Widow origin?
Black Widow is one of the most boring characters to me.
I don't think she's that boring.
I don't believe that.
To me, she is.
This is from the guy
she's more interesting than Vision.
Like 10 times.
Vision is an AI come to life.
And they did nothing with him.
They tried. Now, I'm not going to defend Vision and say that, oh, he's super cool and da-da-da-da. But I liked watching him a lot more than I liked watching
I disagree.
Black Widow.
Black Widow has way more impressive feats throughout the series than Vision does.
Yeah.
She does a lot of cool nonsense.
Yeah, she's pretty cool in Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yes. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna go on that.
Well, I guess we could have a whole podcast about this.
We can have a whole podcast.
We'll pick it up at a later date.
All right, so we'll wrap up the Marvel Phase 4 stuff. I'm sure we'll have a lot more Marvel conversations in the future as more of this stuff drops. But on a much more somber note, our final topic for this week is the devastating fire that happened to Kyoto Animation Studio. Come to find out that a man who basically was accusing the studio of plagiarism somehow got access to the building, put lighter fluid and gasoline on multiple floors, and then set fire to it, killing over 30 employees, basically destroying all of their past and present animation work, like stuff that they've released in the past, stuff that they were currently working on, like it's all gone in this devastating fire.
He screamed "die" before he lit the fire too. That's what they heard.
Yeah, like as a counter to accusations of plagiarism, like the CEO went and said that they're a big media studio. They get death threats,
Yeah.
It's not uncommon, but they've never seen any, like they evaluate their stuff. They send them over to the police, but they've never seen anything accusing them of plagiarism. So like, this is something that there was no way for them to really see coming. And why should you? Like, why should you have to be on guard for this kind of senseless attack? It's like, it's just so tragic that it was so effective.
Mm-hmm. It's super sad.
It's sad. It feels like a crime of passion that is devastating. You know what I mean?
He had to plan this out, and which is the worst part. And it's like,
well, I mean, he's doing it. It sounded like he was doing it for his art. You know what I mean? Which is sad. I don't know if that's the truth. You know what I mean? If the Kyoto Studios actually plagiarized his work, or maybe he just used that to get revenge on. I don't know. I don't know what.
Clearly he's unstable, because it's like,
oh yeah,
with a claim of plagiarism, there are avenues that you would go to. Like, why did he jump straight to arson, like deadly force, for this?
With the building open too.
And this is the thing, right? If he had like done a lawsuit or something like that before, okay, I feel like the president would have said something like, "Yeah, he's accused us of this before, but it was unfounded."
Like, it would have been a known entity.
Yeah, it would have been something that they would have talked about. But it sounds like, just like you said, it sounds like he just jumped to, you know what? We're just gonna burn the whole thing down. Now, I hope I don't sound too insensitive, right? But I want to know how much, if any. So the president Hideki Hata says, we lost everything, digital, physical, everything's gone. Do you think that they had stuff backed up in their cloud, or if they had a cloud?
I don't know. Like, how old is Kyoto Animation Studio? Like, they've been making content for a very long time now. So there's a good chance that maybe they just have physical archives and stuff. But yeah, that's like saving it to like a cloud maybe wasn't in their infrastructure at this point.
I mean, I feel like even by the year by 2010, you get an intern to just scan everything and pop it up.
But I mean, yeah, in that sense, hindsight is 2020. Like, of course you would think that now, because you can never imagine like you're just gonna lose the entire building.
No, but that's the whole thing. Right now, all of our stuff is backed up. Right? I don't expect my apartment to blow up, but it's all in the cloud. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just simple preventive, preventive measures.
I mean,
so like I said, I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but I find it surprising that he lost so much in a fire when we have this technology, and we've had this technology for a long time.
So you're not trying to suggest some sort of conspiracy here, are you? Like,
no, not necessarily, but I do find it alarming that they lost 100% of things in 2019. We've had this cloud technology for a long time. Then that's not to say, oh, these people shouldn't have died, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that aspect of it. How do you lose 100% in a modern studio?
I mean, not to make excuses for that, but Japan as a culture, they're very traditional. They're very steeped in tradition. Like, they do things a certain way. Like, take Nintendo, for example. It takes them so long to kind of just advance with just modern sensibilities, not necessarily technology, but just mannerisms of thinking. Like,
and you don't know, they could have figured, put it on the cloud, it's easier to get pirated.
Yeah, like they may have had some kind of maybe the amount of stuff they had to back up to a cloud might have been prohibitive. Like maybe the cost of maintaining the space for whatever they needed to do. Like who knows? Like maybe
it's definitely possible.
Like maybe it would have made more sense, to do so. But maybe they're thinking business wise, like, oh, we don't have the money to do that right now, or we don't want to use the money to do that right now when we just have everything in the archive or whatnot. Hopefully that there's some way to get it all back. Like they've released stuff out to the world. Hopefully they can maybe just scan things back from whatnot, and maybe compile everything back. But the lives that they lost, the talent that they lost, like
terrible.
That's not coming back.
And it wasn't just the people. It wasn't just Japanese people. It was people from all over the world that had come to the Kyoto studios to work there and to make their art dreams come true that lost their lives as well, which is devastating.
And that studio apparently was well known for actually hiring a lot of female staff.
Yes.
Which is like a rarity in animation. And for them to be that progressive and then to fall victim to this kind of nonsense, it's just the worst possible studio you could even do something like this to.
Such a heavy blow. Such a heavy blow.
It's really upsetting. Like
it is. It's sad.
Like I had to really think whether I even wanted to bring this up on the podcast because of like how sad it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to kind of go from laughing about a thing to then talking about death in a medium that we like love and appreciate. But
that's
I feel like it's important, like this stuff.
And it's something that we do need to talk about,
this stuff happens, like it's real, and we need to kind of keep it on our minds, and we need to, pray for the families of those lost, themselves.
Yeah, most definitely,
and do whatever we can, if anything, to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen anymore. Like, it's just wrong. Like,
There's no two ways about it. There's nothing that you can say that justifies taking 33 lives, innocent lives, right? Even if you were wronged, even if they did plagiarize his work.
Right, even if his claim was legitimate, nobody gives a damn about that now.
Exactly.
Because you went way left with it.
Yeah, and you don't even think about not only the families you killed, but your family now.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone who's connected to you
because of what you did.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's a shame that have so many people in the world doing crazy things like this who just.
And they have the guy in custody. Like the reason he gave was the plagiarism, but that's pretty much all I think we've heard
an excuse
from so far. So
that is not an excuse. We're gonna keep our eye on this story for sure,
we'll
as it will the rest of the world. But, and kind of side note on that. Fire related, WB had a studio that just went on fire, where Harry Potter was filmed.
Yeah,
that it was a big fire. It didn't burn to the ground, but apparently they lost a lot of good stuff, and they had to put production back on a couple things. So
and sad to mention this too, but one of the crew members from the Titans, he was killed by being struck in the head from a piece from a car that was used as a prop.
Kind of stunt thing, and
so. A lot of sad news
on that for a little bit too.
And entertainment this week, last 2 weeks.
Entertainment business is more dangerous than we thought.
But hopefully, we already know most of the entertainment industry they bounce back.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It may take some time, but I feel like Kyoto Animation Studio will recover. And
especially with the support that they got right now.
Yeah, like I think there's a GoFundMe somewhere where people are. I wish I had that information actually. Matter of fact, do I have that information? Yeah, actually, I'll put a link when we post this to the YouTube. It says there's a Sentai's GoFundMe campaign for you to contribute money towards their studio's restoration. So if you guys want to actually throw in some financial support to help them get back on their feet. There's going to be a link in the video description, as well as probably the podcast description. I'll throw that in there too.
Yeah.
For you guys to go through and do that. So
Yeah,
hopefully they do get back on their feet sooner rather than later. But we're going to wrap up the more sad stuff. We're going to end our topics. We're going to go into... we're going to pull back our top 3 situation. We've been doing a couple of those.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to find out what are our top 3 most annoying video game tropes. I hope you guys have had some time to think about these. Video game tropes as in either mechanics, story things, just things that kind of keep coming back up in video games that you're either tired of seeing, that annoy you, or that you just outright hate. Like, what do you guys got? Anybody want to go first out of the gate?
I got it.
Go ahead.
One of my most annoying video game tropes, and I don't think Sigma, I don't think you're gonna agree with me necessarily.
Okay.
Jeff, I don't know, but I hate the silent protagonist.
Okay.
Ooh,
I
damn.
hate a silent protagonist. It's so boring to me. Why am I playing this game? Why am I playing this character if they're not gonna even talk to anybody? You know what I mean? Like, what is my point of being in this world if I can't communicate? I hate silent protagonists.
So, by silent protagonist, you mean the character who people will talk to and they never say anything back at all? Not even like they have no voice and they have dialogue options?
Yes. And even the dialogue options, we can debate about that. There's goods and bads on that, right? Because you are actually communicating something.
You just don't hear a voice.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
But you mean like you just mean like total blank slate where
blank slate and where other people are talking for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they're like, "Oh, did you go do this thing?" And your character's like shaking his head, right? And then they're like, "Oh, well, that must mean that we found the secret." Da, 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 da. And your character just nods. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, "Why am I even here?"
But so like GTA 5's online.
GTA 5 online, that's different. That game is not for story.
But they have a lot of story in it. Like your characters will be talking at you, and your guys will be like miming stuff and not saying anything.
That game is made for jokes.
Oh.
That game is made for jokes, right? In general. Now, obviously, there's always exceptions to rules, but that game is made for jokes. That game is made for fun. They make fun of how silent you are on a regular basis, right? And that would probably be my exception to a silent protagonist. Plus, your character has so much personality outside of that, right? And freedom outside of that I don't even think about how much I want to talk to these other characters. I just do what I do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when we're talking about heavy story, the silent protagonist annoys the crap out of me. My second trope would be unskippable tutorials.
Yep. That's pretty bad.
Unskippable tutorials. I just want the option, all right? If I played this game before on another platform, let me skip it. If just give me the option. Let me jump into your game. Let me enjoy what you put together.
Or if you're gonna do a tutorial, kind of integrate it into the gameplay. Like I like it when, like a lot of indie games do this, where like in the very first level, like as you're like running through the level, you'll see like A on the first obstacle. Yeah, like you'll see the
Cuphead
A button.
Did a really good job.
That says jump, so that you can get over that thing. So like it's telling you in the thing how to actually play the game, and then when that's done, then you have all the tools. Like more complicated games, I understand may have more involved ways of trying to teach you how to play, but I feel like get creative. Like make a mission that shows you everything.
Yeah. The Gears 5 tech test, right, had one of those unskippable tutorials. Now, granted, when I was playing it, I kind of wanted to just jump in and see how similar it was and all this stuff, but I didn't have the choice to do that because it says you have to go through this whole. I think it was like 30 minutes or something like that. Probably a little bit less if you're paying attention. So anyway, yeah, I don't like unskippable tutorials.
But Forza Horizon 4 has sort of an unskippable tutorial. Like it's the intro to the game, but but I felt like it was well done. Like I enjoyed going through that, and it was like showing you like, oh, follow the line to do this thing. This tells you how to brake, how to accelerate. This tells you how to rewind. You're gonna go through all these seasons. Like it's basically introducing you to what's coming, but it does it in like a way that's also having you play the game the way the game actually plays.
Yeah.
So you're just saying even that you just want the option to skip it.
I want the option to skip.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
If I'd played Forza before, you know what I mean, that whole thing would be annoying as heck.
You think? I still thought it was like very
I
well
think
done.
so.
Like the music and the transition.
I'm not saying it wasn't
I thought it
well
was,
done.
I thought
I'm
it was
just
cool.
saying I want the option. It's my game. I bought it. Let me get the option.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
And last but not least, I'd have to say my last annoying gaming trope is when this one is a little bit more specific to RPGs.
Okay.
Right. And it's just fetch quests. A mission where I have to. I'm this super warrior. I'm the super special person. Blah blah blah. And I end up having to go to a farm because this guy knows where this cave is, and he's like, "Well, if you pick my carrots first, I'll show you where." I was like, "Son, I'm trying to save the whole world and your carrots, and you want me to go pick them? What were you doing before I got here?
You're the farmer.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, how do you know I'm even gonna do it right? Like,
you don't know me, I don't know you. I'm trying to save this whole world. I got some evidence. Here's my papers. Well,
you don't see this? You don't see this sword? I'm the chosen one. Why am I picking your carrots?
Get out of here.
That is weird. They need to find a new way to kind of do that.
There's got to be a better way to say. I'm not even going to say it's pick these carrots. I never want to be a farmer unless I'm playing a farming simulator. But there's got to be a better way to do fetch quests in RPGs.
True, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing those take a nosedive in terms of frequency.
Yeah. So that's my 3 video game tropes that I hate.
All right. I can go next unless you want to go.
Yep. You good?
All right. So I'll go in descending order. So my number 3 is tailing missions.
Oh man.
I cannot stand when you have to follow a character without that character seeing you, so you have to like walk slow, you have to hide behind a corner. If you get too close, then the thing fails, or you get too far away and you lose them, then the thing fails. Like if it's like a car chase, that's one thing. But I'm talking about where you have to be stealth.
So you saw some Metal Gear Solid stuff.
No, not even.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is the worst offender of this. Like Metal Gear Solid, when you're stealth, when you're just hiding in general, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like when you have to follow a guy or eavesdrop on a conversation, so you have to stay within a certain range while that guy is moving around. Like I hate that so much. Like it's not fun. It's not intuitive. Like there's no. Like you're not really doing. Like there's no dexterity involved. It's just annoying when you fail, and it's so easy to fail when they design them poorly too. For example, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah, they had
you do tailing missions in a freaking ship.
Yeah.
You're gonna
and we had to go through. You had to go through the. It was like a little marsh.
Yeah, it was like a marsh canal thing.
And you had to get off and.
Oh my god, that was so frustrating. I failed it so many times. There were like spotlights that you had to get out of the way of or something. No, it wasn't a spotlight. It was like candle lit watchtowers or some nonsense.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. Don't do them ever again. They're not fun. Just stop. Another thing I'm annoyed by are multiple currencies in a game. Like this is in a lot of MMOs. Like sometimes I understand the economy kind of needs some differentiation, but in most cases they kind of go overboard. It's like, okay, you have one thing that'll buy you this thing, but you have another thing that'll buy you those things. But if you get these things, you can trade those things in for these other things, and then you can use those things to buy these things to then get you money so you can buy the one thing that you actually want.
That was like DC Universe, yeah.
I don't mind it so much.
I feel like
honestly,
it's convoluted for the sake of convolution in a lot of cases. Like they're
unless it's event-specific gear, you need to use event-specific currency. That's the only time I'm okay with that.
And that's what I tend to see in a lot of MMOs. Not all of them, obviously, but in a lot of MMOs, if you want this helmet that looks like this dragon that you fight, you need to get parts of the dragon. You're not gonna use gold to buy that. You know what I mean?
That's crafting. That I feel like is on a separate thing, because it's context specific. Like it makes sense that if you're gonna build a thing. You need parts of that thing to make that thing. But I'm talking about straight up currency. Like this is
gold.
Yeah, this is
gems,
gold. You have
shards.
Points. You have gems.
Like doing
you have
this gives
diamonds.
you these red diamonds, and you need these red diamonds to then go and buy.
Yeah, like you can only buy this thing with these coins. But if you don't have enough of these coins, you can trade in these other coins to get more. Like 2 of these coins are worth 1 of those coins. Like that kind of like that, it's too convoluted. They have to find a way to pare most of that stuff down so that I don't have to deal with it. Like Destiny was bad at it too, because Destiny didn't do crafting. Instead, they would kind of do multiple currencies, but disguise it as crafting. Like it would be crystals and shards and materials,
like the
and
swords and stuff.
Yeah, but all you really did is use the number of materials to buy the thing. Essentially,
I don't know. That's crafting. That's crafting. In my opinion, you know what I mean.
You may be right. If you strip everything away, you may be right. It's kind of just earning a thing to then get another thing. Yeah. But it's the context that annoys me, I guess.
Okay.
Like if you don't frame it well enough to make me feel like, okay, there's a reason why I'm doing this. There's a reason why the differences exist. Because it makes sense to me in Monster Hunter why you would need to fight a Legiana to build the Legiana gear.
Okay.
Versus, I'm not gonna fight a Dodonga, whatever you call them things.
So the reward needs to be, so what you receive needs to be warranted by the currency that you use,
or the gameplay has to inform it. Because if I went and hunted this monster, like actually played a game to earn those things, fine. But if I did a mission and they give me red coins, but then I do another mission and then they give me blue coins, what's the difference? Why isn't everything just worth red coins and then everything costs red coins?
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. It's probably nitpicking, but
no. So you rather buy a dragon helmet with dragon parts rather than red coins
that I went and earned.
Yeah.
By doing a thing that involves killing a dragon, because it makes sense. In that regard.
Rather than red coins or blue coins.
Because they needed to differentiate them for whatever purpose.
Exactly.
That I don't understand.
Exactly.
And then
I feel you.
My main gripe with the video game industry in general is how they consistently just misrepresent black hair.
Oh, bruh. I gotta say, I thought you were gonna talk about pre-orders.
Oh no. Yeah, I didn't put pre-orders in here. But when you customize a character, some games are better than others in customization, period. But across the board, they seem to all suck at giving you options for black hair. It's like I honestly feel like they legit just don't think about black people playing their games and wanting to make characters that look black in their worlds, so they just completely forget. Or they throw in the things that they think are black hair, which is a Caesar, a big crazy afro, or a bald head, because that's it. Or cornrows. 1992 cornrows.
Or some terrible dreads.
Yeah, or Rastafari dreads. It's stereotypical hair. Some of the only examples that I've seen of really good authentic black hair are in the NBA games. And I feel like it's only a side effect of them actually modeling a bunch of black dudes who exist in real life. Because they'll just take Kyrie Irving's hair. They'll just take Steph Curry's hair. And then you got hair that black people actually wear today. And I feel like that's the only reason that shows up that way.
I feel like in many of these games, they don't do black hair till the end. I feel like HR walks in the room hey, did you guys remember to do black hair? They're like, okay, let's just, a lot of black people are bald. What do they do? They wear afros, and let's do that thing with the lines in their hair. Are they got corn rolls? Yeah, let's do that. That's how I feel that conversation goes.
Not low-key, it's high-key insulting.
Yes.
To be consistently just forgotten about in that term. You'll get all sorts of different wavy hair options and stuff. Black women too, I feel are super underrepresented. If you, in the rare instance where you do maybe get some decent hair for dudes, the women all have to get,
the same exact
straight hair,
or the same hair that we got.
Right? Yeah. It's a shame. They need to do more. There are certain games that had maybe 1 or 2 decent ones, but I need to see the range, son. As many options as you have for all these other straight-haired characters, you need to have for black hair. Because there are multiple different ethnicities that can have hair like that, and almost only just one that can have this range that black people do. And I feel like we don't get that representation. They should start with black hair and then do the stuff for everything else, honestly. Because everybody else's hair looks the same.
Hey, shout out to Bangalore on Apex Legends.
Right, yeah. That's good black
hair. Yes.
But I mean, that's not customizable. That's just a preset character.
True.
They
I'm
gotta
just
throw
saying,
stuff in
yeah,
customization
that was a good
game.
one. Oh, and what was that? Deathloop looked like they had some really good hair.
Oh yeah, but again, those are like
that's coming up.
Characters
it's
that
only
they
two
designed.
specific characters. I feel you.
I need customization to include black hair. That's my gripe. So those are my 3. Jeff, what do you have?
So my first one's gonna be when a game locks you into a specific play type and then punishes you for playing any other way. So like, I love Dishonored 2, but I don't like the only way to get the good ending is pretty much to not kill people.
Right, I get what you're saying.
But I got all these abilities and stuff that I want to kill people.
Right.
So it forces me, if I want to get the good ending, I have to then not kill said people. So that's my first one. Not in the order this week, but that's my first one.
So you don't like that they punish you for it?
Yes.
It's like
because if you kill
they present the options.
Yes.
But then they tell you, oh, this is the right way to go versus the other way.
Because if it's like, oh, okay, well, it says if you kill too many people, you're going to get the bad ending.
Yeah. Like the world ends up worse off.
Yeah, like, but these people deserve to die. I'm gonna give them that.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah, why are you going to make them live? I mean, they just going to rot in prison for the rest of their lives or something. So, like, let me just do what I came to do. Second one's going to be where they start you off as this all-powerful hero or whatever.
Okay.
And then it's like, you lose all your powers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The come up. It's the come up.
Sometimes I kind of see where that's coming from because a lot of times they want to show you what you're working towards.
Possibility. Yeah.
Like
but
the first,
it's like a tease.
It is a tease. The first prototype did that, and I thought that was actually really good.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, like because
then it started to be used. I said, Castlevania Lords of Darkness 2 did that.
Yeah.
Did that too. Stupid cat. Did that too. Where you start off as Dracula, you're powerful, you do whatever you want.
Yep.
You laying siege to everybody, and then you lose all your powers, and now you're just like some bottom level, some basic vampire.
Yeah, I think a lot of Metroidvanias do that. I think even Super Metroid does that as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that one, and I mentioned Destiny 2. I actually liked how the light was stripped from you in Destiny 2.
Well, that was story relevant. But
yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I guess that
you had all your powers.
Yeah,
but he beat you down, and then you went back to Destiny 1.
Like we here now. It's Destiny 2. Oh nope, it's back to the beginning.
Psych.
I had the third one, but then I lost it.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go with. I don't like games that you as a hero wind up being the bad guy like all along.
That actually sounds cool. How many games do that?
What was that?
So let's see. So there was
what are some examples of
Dark
this?
Revan.
Say it again.
Oh, Darth Revan.
Oh, was that in
Knights of the Republic?
Yep. Then there was Booker from BioShock.
I thought that was dope. I thought that was an amazing twist.
Wanted to punish Comstock, save Elizabeth, and I mean, because you worked hard in that game to do this. Every BioShock, I feel like they give you the finger at the end.
The first one, the first one for sure, they did kind of give you the finger.
Second one too, but I'm like, I mean, because you wound up playing as a Big Daddy the whole time, and then I don't want to spoil that, but anyway, so like
that game was like 15
I'm
years
like,
old.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, and then the only way to kind of keep them safe, spoiler alert for BioShock Infinite, they gotta drown you.
Yeah, you have to let Elizabeth.
But I'm like, I spent all this time trying to do good things.
But like honestly, I have no issue with that because it was story relevant. Like the whole his whole purpose was to save Elizabeth, not to save himself. So you're the player character. I get that, but
I know he was going for redemption because of what he did.
Right? Yeah.
But killing Comstock was basically him killing himself. So I feel like he already gave one life. There's only one life to live. I'm just saying. I don't feel like he needed to give another one.
I mean, it was
like
super convoluted at the end, but I feel like they explained the reasoning behind it because it was a multiverse.
I was happy with it. Same thing, like I said. There was another game too. I can't think
overall,
of.
you think ending up as the bad guy?
Did you play?
Or having sacrificed yourself is alright. Ended up as the bad guy or having to sacrifice yourself.
I don't mind the sacrifice part. So like, if hey, the only way for us to win is to blow up this ship, and I gotta be the one. I'm gonna stay on and blah blah blah.
That's
cool,
fair.
Great, that's fine.
Okay.
But when it comes to I'm putting in all this work, I'm saving all these people, I'm doing all these right things. Oh well, you were the bad guy all along.
How do you feel about the ending of The Last of Us? Did you play that game?
Yes, I did.
So
what Joel did?
Yeah, Joel's turn at the end.
So here's my thing. I feel like he kind of had good intentions, but he had his daughter. He lost his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie kind of became his surrogate daughter, and he was just told that, hey, bring her here, and she's gonna help develop the cure from her blood or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
When they told her that no, she was gonna have to die in order for this cure to be made, he was like, oh, whoa. I spent all this time bonding with this girl. I'm attached to her now, and you want to kill her?
But in order to stop the world ending,
I get that. But like somebody telling you, hey, I gotta kill your son
Jeff.
in order to save the world.
Look, listen.
I gotta kill your son in order to save the world.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. My son is about to be 6 years old. They don't need him for nothing. but in this instance, I understand that Ellie became his surrogate daughter, but Ellie was also, she's not a grown woman, but she's a teenager, she knew the thing. Like, she knew, she accepted it. Ellie was like, I understand, and I'm okay with it. Joel said, Joel was like, I'm selfish enough to say no. I'm not gonna accept your decision. I'm not gonna accept.
Do you think Joel was okay up here?
Probably not.
We talk about mental health. We talk about that.
I mean, probably not. Like he dealt with some trauma.
He failed one daughter.
Right. Yeah.
And his mind is he's not gonna fail another one. And
I think all this is proving that it's a good story.
Yeah, like I like.
I don't think he was the bad guy all along.
Oh, so you're saying that he wasn't the bad guy?
He was not the bad guy.
I felt like it framed the fact that because after that you realize going forward that Joel wasn't really ever doing like good things. Everything he did was kind of just serving his own self-interest. Like the quest to take Ellie to these people was a job that he was doing with what was her name, Tessa or Tess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when it turned out that he couldn't trust Tess, he killed her. Like they fought, he killed her.
He did some questionable stuff.
Right. So he killed a bunch of other people. Like he wasn't looking out for. Like he did nothing that was like morally good. Everything he did was to serve him and then to eventually protect Ellie.
I'm okay with that. Here's why: is because, like you said, he never. It wasn't like he was doing all these good things the entire game. Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Oh no, you're the bad guy."
So you're saying, okay, so he was already morally ambiguous.
Like, hey,
I can see that.
All right.
I'm not doing this for the good of everybody. I'm doing this for
the
good of me. And if you happen to benefit from it, then great. But if not, then
all right,
that's it.
I see that. I see that.
Fair. So those were our top 3 most annoying gaming tropes. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna move on to our final segment. This week we're not doing trivia, but we are doing a game. I explained this game to Jeff sometime in the past, but I'm going to explain it for everyone now. I have named it Annie Up. That's not the actual name of it, I don't think. It's a game that I got from listening to the IGN's UK podcast. So if you guys listen to that, it'll sound familiar. Mm-hmm. But I did come up with the questions. I just stole the game type. And I changed the name because I don't remember what the actual name is. They named it something stupid. But anyway,
there we go.
Essentially, it's a game that only 2 people can play. So we have the right number right now. And essentially you're wagering your knowledge of pop culture against your opponent. So we're going to have to do a coin toss. One person's going to have to go first. I'm going to ask you to answer, for example, and this is not a good example, but for example, there are 800 plus Pokemon. How many Pokemon can you name? Can you name more than the other guy? Right? So you're going to say, I can name 3. Your opponent will then say, okay, I can name 5. The opponent will say, okay, I can name 20. If you don't feel like you can name more than 20, you say, okay, do it. Ante up. So the person who then made the wager has to name 20 Pokemon with no mistakes and under a certain amount of time. Like, you can't like wait like 2 hours before you get the next Pokemon. And if you fail, the other person gets the point. If you reach the entirety of 20 Pokemon, then you get the point.
Oh man.
Got it? So
okay.
Cool.
So we're not going to use Pokemon. But if you guys understand the question, I'm going to need you to pick heads or tails. I don't have a coin right now, though.
You might need one.
Give me 1 second.
We just do think of a number between 1 and 5 or something. Ooh.
I'm still doing something. Daddy. Okay, so I have a coin. Who wants heads? Who wants tails?
I'll take tails.
Jeff has tails. He's acting first, so I'm gonna flip it.
All right.
It's on camera. Oh, I caught it now. Oh, tails.
All right.
So Jeff is going to get the first option to either say how many he can name out of the question I'm going to ask. So Jeff is going to give a number, then
I'm going to counter.
Then,
okay.
Yeah, Blue's going to try to counter. So first question. Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
The Stark children, all 6 of them, including Jon, have direwolves. Can you name all 6 of the direwolves? Jeff, how many of the direwolves do you think you can name accurately?
I can name 3.
Jeff says he can name 3. Blue, can you name more than 3 direwolves?
I can only do 2 of them, man.
So you're gonna call Jeff on this?
Yeah, Jeff. Let me hear the 3.
All right, so Jeff, it's on you now to name 3 direwolves and secure this point. Otherwise, Blue gets your point.
I feel like he's bluffing.
Okay.
Because now that you're on the spot, and you have a timer. Like I have a timer, so you have to start going.
Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
huh.
Ooh.
Huh. Crap.
10 seconds is up.
Was the other
That's crazy. I thought you'd be able to do it. So Blue actually gets the point. You took too long between answers.
The name jumped out of my head.
So
I thought about Ghost.
Ghost is John's wolf.
Yeah.
Rob's wolf is Grey Wind. Sansa's wolf is Lady.
I remember that.
Arya's wolf is Nymeria.
I knew it.
Right.
Bran's wolf is Summer.
Man, ain't nobody care about me.
And Rickon's wolf is Shaggy Dog.
Fam, I forgot Recon was a thing. Let's keep pushing.
Cool.
Okay, so that was round 1. Blue's able to get the point by calling Jeff on his bluff. Up next, there have been 7 unique Game Boy systems released by Nintendo.
Okay.
Blue, it's on you now. How many of the 7 Game Boy systems do you think you can name accurately?
I can probably do 4 of them.
So Blue is saying 4. Jeff, can you name more than 4?
I can do 5.
So Jeff says he can do 5. Blue, can you do more than 5?
I can't do more than 5, man.
So again, Blue is calling Jeff.
What you got?
So once you get your first answer, you have about 10 seconds, and you can't take super long on the first one either. But once you do your first, I'm giving you like 10 seconds between each answer.
Gotcha.
So whenever you're ready.
Game Boy.
Okay.
Game Boy Color.
Okay.
Oh, I
Game
forgot
Boy
about
Advance.
that.
Yep.
Game Boy 3DS.
No.
I mean,
nope.
I'm sorry.
No, you're wrong. Doesn't
SP,
count.
Fam.
Oh, those don't count?
No, Game Boy.
Oh.
Not handheld systems.
I
So we can talk about
misunderstood. Okay, my bad.
So I mean, I probably could have made that clearer, but yeah, like 3DS and 3DS XL, blah blah, all that stuff doesn't count. So I'll give you the entire.
Can
so
I
Jeff
share which ones I remembered?
Go ahead.
So you got Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Color.
Yep.
The Micro Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy Micro.
Game Boy Micro, right? And then, I can't remember the last 2.
The last 2 would have been Game Boy Pocket.
Oh yes.
And then this one you probably wouldn't have got, but Game Boy Light. That was only released in Japan.
Oh wow.
Oh man, you always throwing some kind of curveball.
Stop.
I mean, I'm just letting you know the facts. There were 7. If you said you could name 7 and couldn't actually name 7, then that'd have been on you.
You're right.
Okay.
Let's see this.
So again, Jeff was not able to name all that he wagered. Blue has 2 points to Jeff's 0. We have 3 more questions, so there's still a chance to come back.
Oh man.
There are, and this one may actually go in Jeff's favor. There are, and it's Jeff who is gonna do the first wager. There are 9 colors of the Lantern Ring Corps. Can you name the colors and what they represent?
Oh, and what they represent.
So there are 9 in total.
I can name 7.
Jeff says he can name 7.
You got it.
He's going
Yeah,
high.
go
He's going high.
I got like 4 tops.
So I can go. Green is for will.
Okay.
Willpower, yeah.
Orange is for greed.
Okay.
Indigo is for love. I'm sorry.
Is it?
Pink is that pink?
No,
I think
yeah,
it is.
that's a mistake.
I'm sorry, I got the colors mixed up.
That's it.
Well, no, I was thinking indigo was pink.
I know, but that's how you lose.
But you know what I meant.
I know what you meant, but you have to say them without mistakes.
Oh, you're being cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not being cheap. I'm trying to be fair.
Hey,
I
man.
the point, but I want to hear which other ones you had.
I mean, yeah, continue if you know the rest.
No, I'm just saying because like the Game Boy one, we weren't clear on that.
Hey,
but that's
give him a second chance on this. He needs to catch up. Come on, it's gonna be game point.
There's no second chances. because part of the thing is making sure you can actually name it. Like, you don't want to take the risk.
Indigo was hope. White was no. Let's not do white. Let's do black was for death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow was for fear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
White was for life.
Mm-hmm.
Red.
Red
is for rage.
Yeah.
And
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that was the last one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, no, you didn't say blue.
He said that was hope, right?
Yeah, blue was hope.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah. Man, I could have gotten probably 6 of those. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta think about it. Like, you don't want to rush into it because then you can trip up. Like, being put on the spot isn't necessarily the advantageous position. So it's kind of a mind game.
That's where you can win too.
Like if somebody says, "Oh, I can do a lot," maybe sometimes it makes sense to put them on the spot versus trying to get a higher point total because then you actually have to.
That was my plan all along.
Right. Let's say that. So I don't know. Let's call that a tie because Blue didn't even really want that point. So
yeah, no.
I'll give both you guys.
Let's keep going.
A point there, but the next one is on Blue to start.
Oof, okay.
This one is a high one. There are 23 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. How many out of the 23 can you name? With no mistakes, remember. They have to be Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you name something that's a Fox movie, you're done. That's it.
Okay. 23, right? Okay, let me do some counting in my head real quick. I'm gonna start with what's this on my hands? 8.
All right, so Blue says he can name 8 Marvel movies.
I'm gonna start with 8. Yeah.
Jeff, can you beat 8?
I can do 9.
Jeff can do 9.
10.
Blue's going to 10. This is half.
I can do 11.
Ooh, this is going high.
Give me 12.
Blue.
I can do 13.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're getting real high now.
Let's do 15.
Blue's going for 15 Marvel movies.
I'll do 17.
You take it. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I knew I was gonna be struggling.
Oh my God! Remember, no mistakes. You have to get.
I don't
them.
have to go into their whole thing, right?
It has to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie out of the 23 that they list.
Okay. So like if I say Captain America, Iron Man 2.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me know when to start.
You're good to go.
Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 2.
Yep.
Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America.
Uh-huh.
Captain America Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Uh-huh.
Ant-Man.
Right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yep. Technically, it's Volume 2, but I'll give
Black Panther. But Black Panther. Then we're gonna go with.
You're running out of time.
Nope. Then we're gonna go with.
Sorry.
Infinity War.
Sorry, you took too long. You took too long, man.
It wasn't 10 seconds.
It was 10 seconds.
I saw it counting.
It was 10 seconds. Man. So again, that's another point lost. So you got to be quick on the snap. It's not all about going high. It's about being able to actually name them.
Yeah, once I got to 15, I was like, man, I'm going to be struggling to remember these on the spot.
No, I had 17, but I was about to confuse one.
And you don't want to do that.
That was going to mess you up.
Oh, it was just Infinity War, Endgame. There was Thor. There was Thor 2. There was Thor Ragnarok. There was.
I'm glad you didn't say Thor 3.
Yeah, that one. I don't know if I would have gave a 3.
No, Thor Ragnarok. Then there was.
But I mean, he did say Captain America too, so I guess that's fine.
No, he said Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, I said Civil War, and I said Winter Soldier.
Oh no, you did.
And he said Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's one more left. Jeff is to start. I think Blue has 4 points to Jeff's 1 point.
Well, it's 3 because we didn't count that third one.
All right, so yeah, we're going to just knock that one out. So
Yeah,
3 to Jeff's 1, but either way, Jeff has lost.
I feel like I was set up on the Game Boy one. I felt like we didn't have clear-cut rules.
That's not true.
No, I mean, it didn't have Game Boy.
Yeah, at no point did anyone say that
we
the
didn't
3DS
say
was a
it
Game
a
Boy.
name, but the 3DS.
Like Nintendo themselves
That's
calls
like-
it the third pillar when they came out with it. They said we have the
3DS
Game Boy, we
is
have
the
the
evolution
we have the
of the Game
GameCube,
Boy.
and we have the DS. They said it was a
Same.
third pillar, and then
By
they just
your
stopped
logic,
making Game
if I
Boys.
would explain
By
it, I
your
would have said
logic,
games,
could say the
systems, handheld that contain the Game Boy within the name, excluding 3DS.
No, you don't
3XL.
exclude that.
Because that's not in the name.
Yes.
The Game Boy
I'm just
was
saying.
never in the
Bumpers
name.
up on his bowling alley.
The
That's what you
3DS
want.
is the evolution.
Nope,
of the
but it was
Game
never
Boy.
called a Game Boy.
Cool
so,
story.
Yep.
Just
It
like
is.
humans are the evolution of
So
monkeys.
is a Virtual Boy a Game Boy?
I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying during the explanation, I would have said
Jeff,
that-
Nah, you lost.
it would
though.
have been
But you
Game
lost,
Boy
though.
within
Just
the
throw
name,
down.
But you
Just
lost
throw
though.
down. We're gonna
or
fight.
modifications to the Game Boy.
Anyhow,
Hey.
the last question was going to be, before Jeff lost already, the last question was going to be, there are 97 Mortal Kombat characters.
Bro,
How many of the 97 Mortal Kombat characters could you actually name? Jeff, what you going to wager?
Oh, I can do 13.
Jeff has gone to 13 Mortal Kombat
bro,
characters.
you go high. And you mess up often too.
Right? It's like he's not learning a lesson
I
from
ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would have started with 3. You said 13?
13. Because if you make mistakes,
Here's the thing. I
Then
knew
you
these
lose.
things, but I kind of slipped up during them. So that's fine.
that's what you call a mistake. That's what a mistake
call
is
you
known
a
as.
mistake.
I'll do 14. I'll do 14.
Blue's going to go with 14. Jeff, what you got?
I'll let him go with 14.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay, so
I just wanted to make it interesting.
Blue, you got 14 Mortal Kombat characters on deck. What you got?
Ermac.
Okay.
Mostly because it's not in the...
Remember, you got to answer within 10 seconds.
Collector,
Okay.
Johnny Cage,
Mm-hmm.
Sonya, Jax, Jackie, oh my gosh, Kotal Khan,
Okay.
Ferritor,
Ferritor?
Farah, and Tor.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
You didn't say "and." You just said "Fervitor."
I'm sorry, Farah, Tor. So that we're at 10 right now, right?
Okay, yep. Keep going.
Okay. Triborg, Alien,
No, Mortal.
Alien, as in...
Mortal Kombat 10.
You mean like the
DLC
DLC
characters?
character? That doesn't count.
They're in the Mortal Kombat game.
I said Mortal Kombat characters, not
It's a character that I play on Mortal
Kombat.
No,
That does not count.
Right,
You know that doesn't count.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you're going to say Freddy Krueger next?
See, you don't like the exclusions of the rules.
No, I'm sorry. That should be self-explanatory. I said Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah, so a character in a Mortal Kombat game.
So Ezio Auditore is a Soul Calibur character?
Yeah.
No, come on now, that's BS. Right. You guys, chime in the chat. I want to know how y'all feel about this, because that's nonsense to me. I'm not gonna accept that.
Hey, no, it's fine. It's fine.
So Master Chief is a dead or alive character.
Yeah.
Yes, for now. So is Yoda? He's in Soul Calibur,
right? Yoda's a Soul Invader or Soul Calibur character.
Yeah.
Get out of here. That is that.
Hey, Jeff, you got the point, fam.
So even with that loss of point, Blue wins 3-2. I think it came out as, right. I don't know. Blue won. He's the winner this go round. Jeff won trivia last time, so you guys are kind of even in terms of the games we've played so far. So hopefully, we'll see what. We'll see what comes up in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys thought it was fun. That's gonna do it for episode 9 of the BBET GamesCast. Blue, where can people find you on the internet?
On the interwebs, you can find me on Mixer at mixer.com/bluebones, BLUB0NESXB as an Xbox, and on Facebook, search Play with Blue Bones. I got a website coming out probably later this week, so look out for that on those platforms. I'll be pushing that too.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's me.
Jeff, where can people find you?
You can find me on Mixer at Superman Jeff 12, and you can find me on Facebook at Superman Jeff Plays. So definitely check us out there, and make sure you check out, obviously, hit the like button at the bottom and hit the subscription so you get that notification when we post our podcast.
Yep. You can find me at Sigma Gears 9 on pretty much everything on the internet. On my Facebook page, Sigma and Son, where you can see my content with my son Starboy, as well as our Mixer streams. All the links go out there. Check our Twitter as well. Like Jeff said, hit the YouTube, BBET Gaming. Check the podcast services for all these when they go up. Search for the BBET Gamescast. Check The Escapist on YouTube as well as the website. Because my reviews go up on their YouTube channel. I've moved over from Gaming Mandarin to Escapist, if I haven't mentioned that already. So definitely check that stuff. My latest review, I believe, is... I actually have forgotten what it was the last game I reviewed. That's how much work I've been doing. It's just churning them out. But my next game, Vane, should be up probably by the time this podcast goes up. So definitely go there, check that out. Subscribe to that channel, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to everything we do. Help us, support us. We love you guys for doing so. Thanks for listening. Thanks to my co-host for participating. That's gonna be it. Peace.
Yo. Concentrate on a nigga while I'm out trying to get him and forget it. Shaking my head, these niggas that don't speak. Trying to get bread, y'all niggas in deep sleep. At least I'm woke, nigga, I'm a beast. At least I know. Whoa. Try to get rid of me, but I am the epitome of a city.